If you're having a hysterectomy soon, or you're looking up information because you're thinking about getting one, well, don't be worried. There is a lot of information out there that can scare you, or stories you've heard from other people. But I think it's important to know that one of the most common things that women ask as a pelvic floor physical therapist, they ask me, will I actually restore my pelvic floor and my core muscles? Will they feel strong again? Can I do the things that I used to do before? Can I get them back into shape? Well, absolutely. The answer is yes, but you have to do the right things. So my name is Dr. Dawn Andalone. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist, like I mentioned, and women's health specialist. And when I work with so many women after a surgery, especially a hysterectomy, it's important to note the right things that you could be doing to help ease any unwanted pain and get through the recovery period in your surgery stages afterward in the first 6 weeks in a more efficient manner and speed it up a little bit. And also what things that are going to help really restore the pelvic floor and the core muscles, the area around where you had your surgery. So the number one thing that I tell a lot of women is make sure that you're getting enough rest and recovery. I can't say that enough. Whatever your doctor has told you for anything you shouldn't be doing, like lifting more than 5 pounds or going up and down the stairs a lot right after your surgery, those instructions that you get from the doctor are very important, because your body in rest and recovery and paying attention to nutrition, getting enough protein, hydrating your body, those are all going to be very important for the healing process, which takes place in the first 10 to 14 days. Now, from there, then people ask, what do I do next? What do I need to do for my pelvic floor or my core? Do I need to start doing Kegel exercises? What is the right thing? Well, it is important to note that one of the best things that you can do is breathing exercises. This is underrated advice, and breathing exercises are so helpful for restoring this whole area from your midsection, your abdominals, the surgical site, and your pelvic floor muscles. And your diaphragm, when you're breathing, that's your breathing muscle, and your lungs need to fill with the inhale, so your diaphragm drops, and then when you exhale, your diaphragm goes up. Now, I'm going to show you what happens. So when your diaphragm is moving, this affects your pelvic floor and your core and restoring those muscles. So you take an inhale and your diaphragm drops, and as you inhale, your pelvic floor muscles relax and let go. This is very important because we hold a lot of tension in your pelvic floor muscles after a surgery, and having any trauma to that area, by second nature, those muscles are going to tense and tighten up. So doing Kegels and squeezing right away is not necessarily the best thing to do. But working on some simple breathing exercises is safe to do. You can do that while you're resting in bed. And as you're inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth, not even focusing on tensing or tightening here, but your brain is teaching those muscles how to work again. And relaxed muscles in their normal state will automatically end up down the road as stronger muscles, because we can train them the right way. So go back to any of those other videos I have on this channel after this, especially the 5 best exercises to do after a hysterectomy, because that does include diaphragmatic breathing, which is one of the best ways to restore your pelvic floor and your core muscles. Now, from there, I can't say enough that walking is also very helpful. And when you feel up to walking outside your house, or when you were told by your doctor that it's okay to move more, then walking also gets more blood flow, circulation, and you will be sometimes breathing a little bit heavier too, which goes into getting those muscles to respond and remember how to react again. Now, the typical kind of core exercises that we think of with crunches or planks and those kind of things, that may be down the road. And those aren't necessarily going to be restorative exercises and therapeutic quite yet. But going back to some simple breathing exercises, and then getting into something where you're inhaling and you stay relaxed, and then exhaling and you're drawing in the lower belly muscles and tensing and tightening those in just slightly. Think of like 50% of your drawing in, not 100% sucking in your abs. You don't want to do that. We want to think very gentle. So inhale, you keep the muscles through your abs relaxed, and then exhale, and you do a little, think of lifting the lower belly muscles and pulling them in and up, just about 50% of your effort. That is also going to be helpful because as you start doing more things around the house or you're lifting anything, getting those muscles to respond and activate the best way is teaching your neuromuscular system. That's your brain connecting to the muscles again. And this happens with any kind of surgery, whether you had a knee surgery, a shoulder surgery. You have to train your brain how to get your muscles to kick in again, because they stopped working the right way after any trauma to the area. There's been research studies to show this. So breathing exercises and then just working on those gentle pulling in exercises with the breathing as the second thing is going to help restore the pelvic floor and the core function. Now, how do we know if your pelvic floor is being restored in the best way? Are you having any bowel and bladder issues? Are you leaking, having more urgency? Are you having trouble having a bowel movement? Those kind of things are affected by the muscles down in this area. So going back to some simple breathing exercises and going back to the basics to make sure that those muscles are resetting and working properly and you're not over tensing too much and tightening through your abs or your glutes or your pelvic floor muscles too much. Your muscles can respond the best way with bowel and bladder function. So your pelvic floor and your core recovery, just starting with those couple tips that I gave you in this video, is going to be the first step to getting them to function properly. There's a lot more that we cover in my online program that is all about hysterectomy recovery success in 30 days and the things that are most important and exercises that you can do that I would start any woman that gets cleared by their doctor and is ready to start some gentle exercise. It's nothing strenuous, nothing weightlifting yet, but really connecting to your core and your pelvic floor. And that is so important for down the road preventing things like a prolapsed bladder, having more effective and bowel and bladder function, and also not having pain with intercourse and more activity later on. Those things are all going to be important with recovering your body the best way after a hysterectomy. So I hope you got something helpful out of this video. Your pelvic floor and your core absolutely can recover the best way after a hysterectomy, just doing the more therapeutic approach in the first 6 weeks and beyond. And if you have other things that you want to know about hysterectomy recovery, then stay on this playlist and watch more videos and hit that subscribe button, because you'll get notified when I release new videos every week, especially on this topic too. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in another video.